My name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified parenting coach, and today I'm on a live with my community, all parents of sensitive and neurodivergent kids. And I'm going to be doing here for the next 10, 12 minutes a Q&A. I'm going to answer to as many questions as I can. So if you are a parent of a sensitive kid, this is the place for you. You're going to get so much out of all these questions. I already see really good ones. Let's go. But before we go there, would you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Every single week, I provide you with insight, knowledge, tools, and education for you to break free from reactivity and raise emotionally secure children. Okay, so let's start. Regressive behaviors. Let's go back. Someone is asking here about regressive behaviors. So she has a 6-year-old. Let's see. And he does baby talk, baby voice. He has a 3-year-old brother. And then let's see what else the mom is saying here. I think I'm trying to scroll up here to okay. Best way to help him. Examples. All right. And then I was asking her, do you fear something is gonna happen if this behavior continues? Let's see if she answered it. She hasn't answered it. But regressive behaviors are very common for older siblings. Why? Because the younger a child is, the more he needs you to survive. So when an older sibling sees the younger one having younger like behaviors, getting your attention, more attention to them than to the older one, they're gonna use those tactics because they want the same connection and attention. And it's not related to, hey, but I give my older one the same connection and attention. It's about the level of support. You are not, maybe right now you are not getting them dressed anymore, and they're seeing you getting their baby brother dressed. Right now you're not feeding them anymore, and they're seeing you maybe helping the Leo one with their food. So they see that the Leo one takes more support, needs more support, and they want that. So this is my rule of thumb because I have a son with autism, and no, we know in this community, we know that we hear professionals say, hey, watch, because if your kids are having regressive behaviors if they're losing skills, it could be a sign. Okay, if you worry that, or if you think that your son or daughter might be on the spectrum, I'm not a professional, I don't diagnose, I'm just a parenting coach that helps parents with themselves. Take them to their pediatrician and get them evaluated. But one thing I do know as a mom of an autistic son is that losing skill means they used to know how to put their shoes on and now they don't know how. It's not that they're choosing not to, they don't know how. Or they used to talk, they used to have many words, they used to have a big vocabulary, and now they're losing their language. They're not using it anymore. That's different from their choosing. They're choosing behaving this way because they're jealous of their brother. So if they're losing skills, take them to their pediatrician, have them evaluated. It could be something else. If they're not, if they're just choosing, if they're little parrots outside home and in the house they're doing the baby talk and they're doing the balbucear. I don't know how to say balbucear, but yeah, the baby talk. Then it could be a connection need. It's a connection need. They need connection. They need connection. My twins went through the same phase, both of them. One of them, even my autistic one, of regressing. They wanted me to feed them. And I remember that they had this little doll with a little bottle, like a toy bottle. And they would go with the little toy bottle and give it to me for me to feed them. And I went, I rode the wave. I battlefield them. It was like a toy battle, and I battlefield them and I rocked them. And I said, "Oh, you're my baby." And they were like 5 years old, whatever. And it went away. Now they don't even pay attention to me. They're almost 9 years old. And then when I enter their bedroom, they're like, "What? What are you doing here?" So it's not going to last forever. Ride the wave. Okay. Let me move on to another question. Type your questions. Type your questions. I'm answering questions right now. To add to my question, you have autism and ADHD, and I think my child might also have ADHD. Okay, so what's your question, Sarah? Let's see. I don't see Sarah. I see someone else. What do you do when you try to co-regulate with your child? They want to throw or hit you. It's so much. It makes sense why they do that. Because they're very dysregulated. Children, when they're dysregulated, they don't control their impulses. And when they don't control their impulses, they do whatever. They throw, they hit, they try to bite. So, number one, you're not doing anything wrong, and it's understandable. Number two, it depends of what your window of tolerance is. If you feel really secure and strong, helping your children through the hitting phase, just dash their little arms and keep co-regulating with them, and the way will go down. And say, "Hey, I'm not gonna let you hit. I'm not gonna let you hit me. Or hitting is not okay. I'm gonna help you be angry without hitting while you dash their little arms," and it will go down. But if it's outside of your window of tolerance and you get triggered, and then maybe you have a little trauma when it comes to you were spanked too and you cannot handle it, then set them down. Set them down. Go at the other side of the baby gate. Tell them, "Hey, that you're going to remove yourself for a little bit." Um, does it work? When they're older, yes. When they're younger, they're gonna follow you. So if they're younger, just follow, like, ride the wave. Ride the hitting wave. Don't let them hit you on the face. And understand that it's just their nervous system is so dysregulated that they cannot handle themselves at that moment. And it's not your fault nor theirs. Okay, let me move. Same treatment. What are you guys talking about? Let me see. If there are other questions, please type your question. Type your question. Let me see. I would like to hear more about what regressive behaviors involve. I think I already went through those. My son, who is 14, ADHD, autism, when I try to explain what he did wrong, he does not like to understand and blames others. Gets angry very easily instead of listening. What can I do different? Oh, my heart goes out to you and to this child, because I've been on both ends. I've been the 14-year-old autistic girl who feels misunderstood and having to hear an adult telling them what I'm doing something wrong when I already think that is everything is wrong about me. So that's why avoiding he's just avoiding feeling how he's already feeling about himself. I was already feeling everything was wrong about me because I was autistic. I didn't know I was autistic. I just felt there was something wrong with me. And if I had an adult telling me what was wrong with me, that added to that feeling. So it makes sense why he would avoid. So what would I do as a parent? I would go with what he did great. And after telling him about all the things he did great, I would tell him how he could do even better. So instead of reminding them of how they already feeling, which is they're already feeling there is something wrong with them, remind them about their strength on how they could do even better. Z Love, tell me something that your autistic son you think he's doing wrong. Let me give you an example. Let's just say that your autistic son is struggling with uh, picking up his room. Okay? What is something that he's already doing right? They have special interests. All autistic kids and people have that. I love how you keep your card collection so neat and organized in order. That's amazing. How can we transfer that skill to your bed? Is there a system that we can set up so the bed is made? Let's come up with a plan. You see how it goes, how it lands a lot different than, hey, you didn't make your bed. Why are you doing this? Like one of them reconfirms their belief about self of there is something wrong with me, and the other one shows them the possibilities within them and their strengths. That's how I approach it with my autistic son, and that's how I wish my parents handled my myself, handled me growing up with autism and ADHD. We need a lot of help. We do. We need help because ADHD is an executive functioning disorder and ASD is a neurodevelopmental disorder. So we do need help. It's not that we're trying to make mistakes in life and walk life making mistakes. We need help. So instead of reminding them of what's wrong with us, remind us or show us how to do it right. That's how we handle it. Okay. So the last question is um, let's see. Can kids unlearn the unregulated yelling parenting they can kids unlearn the unregulated yelling parenting they saw in their first couple of years? My kids are now 9 and almost 11. They yell a lot. Daughter and I are both neurodivergent. My heart goes to you. And that's our bread and butter in HIC parenting to help neurodivergent families break free from reactivity and raise emotionally secure children. Why I do know it is possible for your children to learn a better way of relating to one another because it's just a matter of developing a new habit and healing what the wounds that yelling and other things that happened in the past did for them. So when you work on healing the wounds, repairing, and developing a new habit of relating to one another is possible. Let me tell you a story before I hang up here. The reason why I came to this work is because 12 years ago, I started raising a son in foster care. He came already being he was almost 9, and he grew up his whole life with yelling and spanking. He was in that pattern. So when he came to my care, I learned all the skills with coaching to raise him away from those, away from yelling and spanking. And I remember 3 weeks in of him being living with me, he came and said, "When are you going to start yelling?" I'm like, "I won't." And then he took something that like some kind of jar and then he broke it on the floor. He said, "Now? Are you gonna yell now?" I'm like, "Not even." Because that's not how I want to relate to you. You might need to pay for that jar that you broke later with your allowance. But not yelling is not how I want to relate to you. With this voice. And he looked at me and then he started crying. He said, "I'm a bad boy." I'm like, "You're not. Even when you broke that jar, you were not a bad boy. You were just trying to see how safe you are with me. You were testing me, not testing my patience or my limits. You were testing me to see how safe I am as an adult. And I am a safe adult. You are safe. He hugged me, and that was the last time that he expected yelling. So it is possible. You just need to build a new habit. If you struggle with this, I have a free session coming up. And if you're like, hey, Marcela, I need help now, I don't want to wait until the free session, there is a free class, free. There is a free class that you can access right now in hicparenting.com, where I show you the parenting with understanding system that helped me break this cycle with this child that I was telling you about, and that has helped 14,151 parents of sensitive and neurodivergent kids bring peace to their parenting and raise emotionally healthy children with peace and accountability. You can find this free class right now in hicparenting.com. I'm going to leave a card up here or in the description below. Let's make a declaration. I will stop yelling this year. Before the year ends, I will stop yelling. Let's make that declaration in writing. Write it right now in the comments. You who are watching me live, you who are watching the recording, write in the comments, I'm going to stop yelling this year. And this year is, we are in November, December, you have 2 months to break your yelling cycle. You can do it by yourself, or you can do it with help. If you want to do it with help, here we are, HIC Parenting Education Agency. We have helped 14,151 parents do that in less than 3 months. And I know I can help you. I know I can help you. Remember, it only takes understanding of yourself and of your children's needs to transform your parenting. Share this video with a friend. Share it with your spouse. Share it with your mom. Share it with your sister. Together we can raise secure children.